This is Vikings United, your ultimate destination for everything Minnesota Vikings. Bringing together the most passionate fans, insightful analysts, and dynamic creators from across Skull Nation. Get ready for deep dives, spirited debates, and exclusive insights from Coach Cody. We're celebrating our community, honoring our heroes, and fueling your fandom with Pillars of Valor coffee. This is more than a show. It's a movement. This is Vikings United.
Handy.
Purple and gold, that's all we know. Purple and gold, we holla skull. Purple and gold, this how we roll. Purple and gold, now holla skull. Purple and gold, this how it goes. Purple and gold, we holla skull. Purple and gold, that's how you know. Purple and gold, now holla skull. I'm representing Skull, the gang, you know the name. It's a Minnesota thing. Put that on the purple blood that's running through these golden veins. Hail, sleet, snow, or rain, regardless, we gon' go to games. $1 billion stadium on Sundays, they don't close the bank. Fail rarely, get your tail buried. Give his JJ to JJ on Hail Marys. I'm like Aaron Jones, I see the fail clearly. Gain 150 yards off of 12 carries and 2 tugs. That's how you crack a can of ice cold whoop ass on the Packers fan. Downtown Minneapolis, where we pack the stands and put our hands above our heads when we clap our hands. That's how we clap our hands. We put our hands above our head when we clap our hands. Now clap your hands and put your hands above your head when you clap your hands. That's how we clap our hands. We put our hands above our head when we clap our hands. I said clap your hands and put your hands above your head when you clap your hands. Purple and gold, that's all we know. Purple and gold, we holla skull. Purple and gold, this how we roll. Purple and gold, now holla skull. Purple and gold, this how it goes. Purple and gold, we holla skull. Purple and gold, that's how you know. Purple and gold, now holla skull. If you from Minnesota, let me know. If you from Minnesota, here we go. Minnesota notice. Minnesota notice. I'm known to skull and then blow the coldest and skull until I got scoliosis. So when we so ferocious. So just way before 84 was the dopest. We showed you who the purple and the gold is. If you from Minnesota, let me know. Right now. If you from Minnesota, here we go. Put your hands up. Minnesota. And gold, that's all we know. Purple and gold, we holla skull. Purple and gold, this how we roll. Purple and gold, now holla skull. Purple and gold, this how it goes. Purple and gold, we holla.
Welcome into the Scene Project Sports Network. You are here tonight for Vikings United. I'm your host, Bubba Startz, joined as always by my co-host, Big B. What's up, B?
Nothing much, just watching a lot of news today about the NFL and, stuff like that. Who got tagged, who's going to probably get released, trades, talks, all that. Big shout out and thoughts to everyone over in Iran with everything going on over there. Hopefully everybody comes home safe. So just want to throw it out there. But outside that, just ready to talk some football.
Awesome, man. We'll bring in Coach Cody. What's happening, Cody?
What's going on, fellas? How we feeling?
Feeling good tonight. Man, I've had a good day. Excited to share that the tour is most definitely happening with the Scene Projects right now. Excited to get this 5,000-mile journey underway later this week, which means that I will be out for the next couple of weeks on Vikings United, but y'all are going to be in good hands. My guy, Wild Willie, is going to be producing the show for you all. So, B, you're going to be in charge, man. You ready for the big stage?
I'm always ready. I'm always ready to step up and show what I could do. Hosting, and we'll probably have a lot to talk about. The league starts the new league year, as they call it, March 9th, I believe. So we're gonna have a lot of people getting cut, traded, all that fun stuff. So the fun is about to begin.
Yeah, well, I picked a good time to take a couple of weeks off, right?
Yeah. Oh, we know you'll be listening a little bit when you can. So
I will be definitely trying to tune in. I got to look at my schedule and see whether I'm traveling those days or what I got going on. Most of my stuff is kind of during the day. So on most, rock and roll tours, you would think you'd be busy during the evenings, but the way that I've arranged everything, and not that we won't be out and kind of mingling, is that most of what we're doing is in the middle of the afternoon, which kind of leaves our evenings more free to go network, which is more what the tour is about. Yes, we're doing performing. Yes, we are, bringing people on to bringing people in to feature them on our TV program for the scene projects with the Songwriters Showcase. But it's really about getting out and networking, meeting some of these people in these bigger markets and getting out of the upper Midwest here where the weather is turning. I saw the geese are heading back north now, and I'm heading south. So it's perfect timing.
Yeah, no, it's always a good time of year. I mean, especially if you're into the hockey or the high school sports scene. I mean, we definitely got some good boys and girls hockey and basketball coming up. March Madness is coming, so if you're definitely that winter sports fan, this is your time of year with all these tournaments and stuff. And then, of course, baseball just kicked off, spring training, all that fun stuff. So it's a good time to be a sports fan around this time of year. You know it. No, and speaking of baseball, and I know we got some big fans here, but we got a new show coming out. Let's see if I can find the graphic real quick. That's not it. That's not it. You don't need to put that out there. Well, if you're looking for the graphic, we got a new show. Me and Bubba will be hosting 789. That's right, man. We'll definitely get the breakdown of my twins, his cubbies, but we're always happy to bring somebody on that's a fan of a different team so we can, rag and tease them and, they can tease us. But, I mean, definitely going to be fun to just talk round ball, the diamond, the good weather, try to get off to some games. I got one rule, no Dodgers fans. Yes, no Dodger fans.
News. I'm excited for this.
Yeah, man, me too. It's going to give us something to talk about during the summer when the football season slows down, and really looking forward to just having an excuse to talk baseball. I love the sport. It'll be a weekly kind of review of what's going on. I don't know if we're going to do it, just kind of replace Vikings United with 789 for a little while, or what we're going to do, or if I'll find another night to, take up my time with. But Danielle's almost done at the bowling alley anyway, so it kind of changes our routines as we move through. And yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm excited to bring in a baseball show. Our co-host and friend of the show, Ryan Shady. Grady was on us last week. I mean, he played a little, semi-pro. You guys both played semi-pro ball as well. So we're almost better poised for a baseball show than even a football show, I feel like. Yeah. Well, yeah, yes and no. I mean, football is 16 games, 17 games, playoffs. So, and then it goes away for a little bit. Where baseball, 162 games, and how much can you break down nightly and stuff like that? So, teaching the boy a few things tonight.
Yeah, that's gonna be hype. I got some content ready for us already. So
let's go. Well, Speaking of content, we got a lot of that coming tonight as well. Let me roll a quick word from our sponsors at Pillars of Valor, who are having a great time. I've seen Zach has been out there golfing with John Daly and doing some really awesome things. So shout out to Zach Houston with Pillars of Valor. We're going to run a quick commercial from them, and we're going to come back. We're going to start off, boys, with the kind of the news that came out with some of the players that will, potentially, it looks like they're going to be getting released here with the start of the league year. And then we'll pick up some combine talk. So everybody stick around. We'll be right back after these words from Pillars of Valor. As we cheer on our Minnesota Vikings, let's also recognize true heroes. Pillars of Valor coffee isn't just about exceptional taste. It's a veteran-owned company with a powerful mission. With every purchase, you're directly contributing to programs that empower and support veterans and first responders. Imagine starting your day with a rich, bold coffee that also fuels a vital cause. Pillars of Valor coffee is dedicated to making a tangible impact, honoring those who've served our nation and communities. Join them in their mission. Visit pillarsofvalor.com to learn more and get your bag today. Pillars of Valor coffee, great coffee, greater purpose. Always so appreciative of our sponsors with Pillars of Valor, supporting the show and everything that they do for our veteran community. Obviously, you all know behind me, you can see not just our new mascot, but Operation Combating Veteran Suicide, which is not just someone that supports the show, but they're also someone that I'm very close with and a foundation that I am the director of marketing and PR for. So shout out to Pillars of Valor. Appreciate their sponsorship of the show, and make sure that you're going and supporting our friends with Operation Combating Veteran Suicide as well. I'm going to put their links scrolling across the ticker here as well. B, why don't we recount a little bit of the news while I'm getting this banner up there? I know Aaron Jones and Javon Hargrave have received a couple of letters. Anyone else on that list?
Viking ones? No, I haven't heard any Viking news. Kyler Murray's been given the walking papers pretty much from the Cardinals. I don't think we're shocked about that. 4 players got the tag, franchise tag, traditional tag. Pickens from the Cowboys. Daniel Jones surprisingly got the one for the Colts. I'm trying to think of the other 2. Not Rice. What's his name for the Jets running back?
Breece Hall. No.
Yeah, he got it. Yeah, Breece Hall got it. And then the 4th one was can't think of the 4th one offhand. So, and then of course,
well, honestly, I feel like the biggest news out of the franchise tags are maybe the ones that didn't. The biggest one being Kenneth Walker over there in Seattle, which means he's going to become an unrestricted free agent. Got to be one of the hottest FAs out there. You'd have to think. Super Bowl champion, really carried that team on his back. Did he end up being the MVP too? I kind of
yeah.
How crazy is that? How a Super Bowl MVP to UFA in a matter of 3 weeks? Like
that's the biggest slap in the face. That's a slap.
This is when your team had money like the Raiders and the Titans do, so they can go out there and sure up that running back spot.
It's not like Seattle's broke. I mean, they're like 9th on the list of money to spend. So I wonder if there's not something in the works there that they are.
I would.
Hey, biggest fan tuning in. We made her jump in on YouTube today too. Sorry, we're trying to pump these numbers up. Make sure you.
Kyle Pitts was the other one, tied in for the Atlanta. Yeah, Kyle Pitts was the 4th one. He got it. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Trey Henderson of the Bengals. They declined to give it to him, so he'll probably be a free agent. Walker. Are the 2 biggest ones that and actually Pierce from the Colts was another one that might be the top 3 biggest surprise that they didn't get tagged.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder if there's not some, already talks behind closed doors that they're trying to maybe get something long-term done. And that's the reason that they don't tag them, especially with Seattle. You got to imagine that they're at least putting an offer onto the table. You wouldn't think that they would just let him walk. But also, if you're in Kenneth Walker's position, Super Bowl MVP, I'm going to get my bag. Right. Yeah. And you're like, nah, man, I'm good. I mean, like, so and the tag at that, but what would the tag cost at the running back position right now? Because you got Saquon Barkley's contract out there really juicing up those numbers because it's an average of the top like 10 or whatever, isn't it?
Yeah. I average 5 or 10. Well, I know if Daniel Jones would have got the exclusive, his would have been like $40-some million.
That's crazy. That's crazy that they're gonna guarantee, because that's guaranteed money too, isn't it? With the franchise
for 1 year. Yep.
1 year on a guy coming back from an Achilles. That is wild. But obviously don't believe in Richardson, who you've now given permission to go seek a trade. Like the Colts are kind of stuck, man. I mean, what do they do? Are they going back to the ghost of Phillip Rivers?
No. They like who's their rookie quarterback this year? I can't think right now, but I mean, if Daniel Jones comes back and can be healthy, I mean, he was early season. A lot of people were talking about how the Vikings probably lost an MVP candidate between them and Sam Darnold. So, but
pump the damn brakes, man. People throw that around. It's 6 weeks. He's a potential MVP candidate.
So I would guess go by the numbers for last year. The running back franchise tag was $13.6 million. So I would guess that's a little north, somewhere around 15 this year. So
man, it seems wild that you don't throw it on him, knowing that the number, you would have to assume the number in free agency is going to be higher than that. But it's different, organizations definitely run their businesses differently. So
Big B, how old is Walker?
Walker the third. I know he's not young. I want to say he's 25.
25?
Yep. He is in 25 in his career.
And they're just going to let him walk.
He's walking. I mean, like I said, this would be the time where I wish the Vikings had that money to be like, hey, let's throw a good deal out there for him.
They can. I would jump on that 100%. That's insane.
Oh, yeah.
The prime of it, like they got to know something.
Yeah, well, and it's crazy to me. But I mean, honestly, his agent also probably wants to go sniff it. I mean, to me, it's no different than the B-Flow deal, right? Where you know your value internally. They didn't make an offer during the season, right? They let it ride out, so you let it ride out. You're like, look, we ain't got to sign nothing. Let's go sniff around. And it's not to say that he wants to leave even, but he's going to go out and see what all the offers are, come back and go, okay, well, this is, Timmy, Tommy, and Jimmy all asked me. Those are all my uncles and my dad's names too. I don't know why those came out like that. But,
so they're projecting that he's going to seek at least a 3-year deal, about $39 million.
Right, at least. So you were going to pay that, but were they going to offer him that when he was part of the two-headed monster that was their running game this year, right? And I don't know what the Charbonnet contract, and if he's on, because obviously he was the lead, right? Until he got hurt, you were kind of riding the other running back anyway. So yeah, interesting. I mean, somebody's going to pony up and pay that.
Well, and that's the style of the game. In today's game, you have to have two good running backs, one counteract the other. I think the Saints were good at that, early 2000s, where they had two good running backs and everybody tried to transition to that. You don't have that one running back that you're going to rely on to get that 1,000 yards every year 20 carries, you're going to rely on 2 different running backs.
Well, it's just the attrition that goes into the running back position. And Coach, you could probably speak to that a little bit. Even playing the lower leagues of football, very rarely does a running back make it all the way through the season because you're just taking punishment every single play, whether you get the ball or not.
Yeah, I mean, whether you're running between the tackles or pass block, you're always going to be getting that contact. It's beneficial to have 2 running backs. I roll with 2 running backs. It brings me back to like the Giants, Mod Bradshaw, Brandon Jacobs. Like they had just running backs flowing through there after Tiki.
Yep.
So
Tiki and Ron Dane.
Yep. So just to keep them fresh too.
Yeah.
Man, meeting Rondé Barber this year and getting to be in that press conference with him and Chris Carter was like highlight of my year last year. It was so just to be around impressive men like that. It was really, it was something, man, for sure. Just being around greatness and the way Rondé a few times, and you can see it during the presser that he stopped, was very adamant about when he was answering my question, looking me right in the eye out there and answering my question directly and not kind of being esoteric. And not that Chris didn't, but just a different caliber of human being. Took time for me to, pose with the cigar from our friends at Founder Cigar Company and was just very gracious with his time. Really look forward to hopefully meeting him again. I know he's a big golfer as well. Got really into the game after he retired. So really hoping that we get more chances to connect with Rondé. I mean, just a class act, man. Amazing individual. And really, you feel in the presence of greatness around him, right?
And that's the attitude that the old school players have. They knew what it was like. They, their contracts were a third of what these guys were for their whole career, pretty much. So they understand what they meant to the game and and stuff like that. So,
Coach, you got a big game coming up next week, man.
Yeah, we did at least. Yep. But we'll save that for later on.
Everybody's already running scared. Everybody's already scared. They said 56-0. Nah, we ain't playing no preseason games against the Cowboys.
Pretty much. But no,
grading our product before we even step on the field for the regular season. Can't have it.
Hey, it is what it is. I got another league, the DFA Eastside Engine. Had our second combine this past Sunday, and then we have our draft this upcoming Sunday. So we're just trying to get
50 plus submissions in like 3 hours for players entering the draft.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. Congratulations, everybody with the DFA. That's so cool.
Yeah, no. So, I mean, we're just getting ready for draft day. We just found before this call at 7, we had a live call. It's posted or recorded on YouTube, but we found out the draft order. So there's 4 teams. It's going to be a snake draft. I got the 3rd pick. So I'm right where I want.
Are you head coach of the engine?
Yes, sir.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Another team on the roster and on the coverage of SPSA.
Well, he posted his win percentage, and I think that a lot of teams will be looking at that and be like, yeah, I think we can run with this win percentage here. He must know what he's doing. So,
yeah,
it's our guy, Rap. What's going on, man, bro? I'll send you a link if you want to hop on tonight. We can talk some combine and catch up. You're always welcome, my brother. Always welcome.
But yeah, how about them? How about the Vikings that we had to send walking? How do you guys feel about that?
I mean, not surprising. Definitely sad to see, the Aaron Jones talk, but I don't think anyone's surprised by that. Either one. When B texted the names to me, it was kind of like, Yeah, the biggest surprise to me, and I kind of thought this after we saw the adjusted cap, that Hawkinson wasn't on that list, but I think they're going to try to get a restructure done. Hope he has one more good year left in him, a serviceable year, I would say, because you need better production at that position. That's not to say that they may not go out and get, one of these tight ends. We talked about a couple last week that may fit into their plans. So, Vike asked how we feel about Kyler.
I don't want him. I shouldn't say it like that. I think it would be, it would bring some excitement to the fans, and to the team. But I mean, he's already come out and said, like, hey, I don't watch film. Like they catch him. We're not watching film. They had to put in that Madden clause or whatever, the live streaming clause. So, I mean, you're just getting an Addison at quarterback at that point, I feel.
Well, and then also, too, he's been stated that, he wants to come to Minnesota. If he's going to go somewhere, Minnesota's his top choice. So
I'm sure it is, man. But if you don't need, for me, he doesn't fit. He doesn't fit the play style. He doesn't fit the attitude that you want out of a champion. It just doesn't. It doesn't rev. Rap, I threw a link in your IG. If you want to jump on, you're more than welcome, brother. And be able to get on here. I know you're a busy man and you're on East Coast time, but yeah, there's just too many flags for me. But right now, the front office worries me because they're a little desperate and they're acting a little bit desperately, and that scares me a little bit, because KOC is so out on McCarthy. It feels like, right, from everything that he says next week. Yeah, no, you're all good, man. You're all good. Hey, they're gonna need some help next week. I'm gonna be out on the road touring with my music podcast. So if you want to dip in next week, same link. So save that link in your IG. Jump in with the fellas next week. Rap, appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you.
I think they're panicking, or the fans are presumably they're panicking because they don't have a veteran quarterback. We know McCarthy right now is slated to be the starter, but after him, who do we have? We're not going to turn to Max again because he didn't do nothing. Wentz, I don't think will re-sign if he even plays. So I mean, they got to get a veteran guy in there. I know they've been linked to Richardson. Of course, Rodgers' name's come up again. Kyler Murray, Geno Smith, giving a call to Carr from to see if he's willing to come out of retirement. So, I mean, I think the names being thrown around, things we're panicking, but
I would be more interested in the Richardson than the Kyler. Because he's got the cannon of an arm, and
he's an accurate guy,
just a monster of a guy. And I feel like KOC rather does really well with like that mold of a quarterback. And maybe Richardson doesn't have all the reps in there. He's more in that mold of what you kind of want in that guy. Where Kyler, I feel like not undersized, but what's Kyler like 6'2"? You know what I mean? Oh, he's 6 foot. So he is undersized, right? A little bit undersized in that position. You want somebody that's a little bit bigger, can kind of sling it out there. I haven't watched enough Richardson film to really see if KOC would, you know what I mean? He's had that success being the quarterback whisperer and being able to do that. But does Richardson have the experience in the playbooks and kind of playing that, playing that kind of field general, right? He's got the cannon of an arm, just a monster of a human being as well. I would be more interested in that because also at the price point, right? Like you're going to get Richardson kind of at like budget price compared to what Kyler would want. And I think you're getting a little bit more raw clay where Kyler is kind of who he's going to be. He really doesn't seem to give a shit about.
Well, Kyler's also going to still get paid from the Cardinals though too. So the money's probably not going to be that big of a factor. He's probably going to get a couple million while the Cardinals are still paying him. But Richardson is 6'4", 240. A little inaccurate on the deep ball, but definitely does have that cannon. He's 23, going to be 24. So,
well, and KOC, he loves Richardson. I just saw it like 2 days ago. There's a reel, but it was after the Vikings played the Colts, and he pulled Richardson aside. One of them must have been mic'd up, but he's like, "You're a bad dude. Like, keep your head up, keep doing what you're doing. You're gonna be great. This organization loves you. The team loves you. I love you." Like, so if anything, I hate to say it, but he's probably the front runner. I'd rather it be like Murray, Rogers than Richardson, but
yeah, I'm probably.
I would rather see them go to the rich. And honestly, I'm the reverse. I would rather have them just go, let the two young guys battle it out. You're getting someone that I feel like is a little bit more durable with that big body. Now, I know he's had his own injuries and had his own issues, but obviously you like the measurables, right? You like the athlete that you're getting in that. And that size, you think, and I'm just trying to like put myself in KOC's brain where he's supremely confident in his ability to teach the quarterback position and to coach guys up, right? And he's kind of proven that he's capable of doing that. And you have to see him looking at Richardson and going, man, I can unlock this, right? I can do this. I can take that arm and put my brain inside of his head and operate that way.
And the thing is he's the quarterback whisperer, but he hasn't done it with the knock on him here locally with a lot of media. He hasn't done it with the young guys. He's done it with Kurt. He's done it with Sam. I would like to see Darnold stay, or not Darnold. Daniel Jones stay here to see what he could do as the backup. So it'd be nice to see him do something with a young quarterback. I mean, not last year, but the year before, we drafted Hall that was supposed to be the next guy. He goes into a Packer game, plays a half, and, we ship him off, So, it's just, McCarthy, or not McCarthy, but KLC does have that. Yeah, he can develop quarterbacks, but it's been the vets that rejuvenated their careers here. So we got to see him do it with the young talent.
Cody, digging into that a little bit, what do you think are the reasons for that? Is it a lack of patience on his end? Does he just, what is it from a coach's perspective of, some guys are really good at getting through to a young player, like Nick Saban, and probably why he's stuck in the college ranks is because he can communicate on that level with them. What do you feel like it is about KOC that he's kind of hasn't proven that ability to connect with these young guys yet?
I mean, I feel it is impatience. I mean, Josh Dobbs, going back to Josh Dobbs, he was kind of vet, brought him along, had his shine for a few weeks. But even before that, going back to what you mentioned about Jaron Hall, I mean, the dude plays against the Packers, and then, if I'm not mistaken, he starts against Atlanta, gets knocked out, and that's where Pasternak arrives. Correct?
Yeah. Yep. The first drive going for a touchdown, I think.
And after that, he just wiped his hands clean of him and was like, "I'm done with him." Never saw him after that. You know what I mean? Like, it comes with the territory. It should be common sense. You got a younger guy, you're gonna have to give him more time.
Yep. And the thing with Dobbs is, we heard that, he only knew a few plays. We just ran skeleton crew. And then once they start giving him more plays, he started making mistakes. It's just like, why fix something that's not broken? He's doing good with the playbook you gave him. So why ruin that? Let him just...
Man, that's my biggest knock on KOC, period, man. He's got to be the smartest guy in the room. He's got to be outsmarting everyone, even if it's himself.
Yep. And he's outsmarting himself.
Not everything has to be the most sophisticated, the most complex. Like, sometimes simple is better,
Yep.
So
keep it simple.
He just has to find a happy medium.
Well, and it's, like I said, he wants to play. He wants to be the quarterback so bad, but on top of that, he lets his ego, I think, get in the way a little bit on the but look at the play that I drew up. And if it would have just happened this way or that way, that better, this would have been that. And I feel like he can't get out of that, and I think that's why he gets so frustrated with McCarthy the last year, because McCarthy would maybe make what would be like the second or third read in that and be a little impatient on the field, when KOC sees it from a different level to say, you wait this little bit more and this guy's going to come open. But without seeing it happen before, how can you ever expect someone to do it? Like, if they haven't lived that experience, how can you expect them to see that when they've never seen it before happen? Right. And like, I'll equate it to my personal experience. Last year, I had kind of gone out on a tour, and hit a lot of the same areas and different things that I'm doing now. I did last year, but I'd never done it before that. And I have so much more confidence going out this trip, a 5,000-mile journey to go out here, because I've now been there before. And I feel like if they were spending more time, building up confidence in the young player that they have and spending that time with him. And I know JJ's got a new, still not a newborn necessarily now, but he's got a baby at home and probably spending a lot of time, not necessarily in the building 24/7 and eating and sleeping there. And maybe that's something that KOC kind of dogs on the kid about too, because he is that guy. Right. And O'Connell is that maniacal kind of, maybe as a player he was as well, but he's definitely that coach who's got, the mattress in the closet that folds down.
I'm one step away.
Well, and even the stuff that came out about Kwesi and the work-life balance that Kwesi was about, and it being a little bit of a rub with the rest of with the coaching staff and some of these guys, because they do just like eat, sleep, breathe football. And maybe McCarthy, because of his personal life, wasn't necessarily that guy. And maybe I don't know. I don't know. And there's a lot of this stuff that we'll never know, because it's all inside of the locker room or until the player's gone and moved on, that some of this stuff starts to come out. But it makes you wonder why they're so adamant that JJ's not the guy, when I felt like he showed you he was pretty capable of stepping into that role towards the end of the season. The biggest knock being he couldn't stay healthy in those moments, right? I don't know.
And that's the whole thing is, I mean, and we could keep repeating ourselves over and over again. You got to protect the quarterback. You got to have a good offensive line. You got to let the quarterback develop. To me, and I'll keep saying it, the Packers over the last 3 quarterback regimes have done it the right way. They brought Favre in. They hit gold on there.
Well, they always had a good offensive line. Yeah. Like, they have always had a top 5, I feel like, offensive line. And even if it wasn't 5 and it was down a little bit.
And then they draft Rodgers, which Favre wasn't happy with, but he sat behind him for 3 years. Rodgers gets the start. Now he moves to, Love after how many years? Sooner or later, they're going to have to find that backup, and I guarantee they're going to have that guy sit behind Love for 2-3 years until they're ready to let Love go. So, I mean, that's something that a lot of teams have to look at is, it's copycat league. So why are we not copying what the Packers are doing with their quarterback situation?
All right, you sold me. Let's get Rodgers.
I don't want Rodgers. I would take Rodgers if I knew our offensive line could protect him. But
and that's going to be a big question mark. And
but again, now you're in the ballpark where are you going to find a veteran for 3 years and develop a young quarterback, or are you just trying to find that guy that can come in?
Coach,
yeah,
was that the Vikings calling? They need you.
No, it's hopefully an offensive lineman that's going to sign for me.
Nice. Good. The Vikings need him too.
Right. One thing I wanted to touch on real quick is, we last year basically went into the season saying like JJ was our guy, gave him all that hype, got him excited. Maybe KOC's like, let's try a different approach. Let's see how he handles not being named the starter, always wondering, actually fighting for his job, seeing if that sparks something.
Yeah, and I think JJ's a competitive guy, so maybe there is some juice to that, and a little bit on the on the side of competitive. The room needs to get better, period. I don't think anybody's arguing that like they're good with JJ McCarthy and Max Brosmer. We saw that they need to get better in the room. I guess where I'm differing is like, and B was just meant like I don't really want an Aaron Rodgers, but Rodgers on a 1-year deal. Like Rodgers isn't coming here to be a backup. If he's signed, he is the starter, heir apparent. I don't know that gives you that competition. Like, I don't know if that's not the right move, but I don't know that that's the right message.
I think the right move would be bring Richardson in, the guy that's only been around for a couple of years,
and let him battle it out.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
The two players are not similar in style or build or whatever, but they're at similar points in their careers, right? Albeit JJ, a few years younger, that they both need to prove themselves. And I think that you get the best out of that, right? You got like two sophomores essentially battling it out for the starting position on the varsity team. I think you get really good play out of that.
I do like that. And I mean, you got to pay attention to the contract too, and what kind of contract this backup quarterback gets, because you're not going to pay
projection on that. What might get open market now.
Let's see.
Go ahead, Coach. I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just.
Well, actually, we would start to trade for him if he doesn't get cut. So he's on his final year of a 4-year, $33 million deal, fully guaranteed rookie contract. So. Yeah, so let's see. 2026, the contract includes a $1.1 million base salary and 4.2 roster bonus, totaling $10 million cap hit for his current team. So
what would that? I mean, yeah, if they traded for him, and to me, what does that even look like, right? To me, McCarthy is not part of that deal.
No,
right?
No.
So who are you giving the Colts for a maybe at the quarterback position? Like, I don't know that we have a player. I don't know that I'm comfortable trading a draft pick for that. You almost are in a wait and see, because what's the word on anybody sniffing around on that potential trade? They have a list of teams that are kind of at the top of that list.
Let's see here.
What about Addison for Richardson?
Down with that.
You feel me?
That's the one person
straight up down.
I would ask for a pick.
Right. Addison and a pick for Richardson.
Addison's production's way.
Or you saying from what angle? As the Colts, you're asking for a pick with Addison?
No. If I'm the Vikings, I'm like, I'm giving you Addison. I'll take Richardson and a pick.
Yeah. Even if it's a 6th rounder, you're gaining something.
Yeah. But yeah, I definitely think my toss would be, let's throw Addison out there, try to get what we can, get Richardson here, fresh start for both.
I'd even trade Hawkinson for him.
Yeah, I don't know who's taking Hawk, but I think
that contract would be too much. We'd have to eat a lot of that contract.
Yeah, which at that point you might as well keep him.
Yeah, right.
So right now, NFL.com's reporting Packers, Rams are the ideal fit for Richardson. Let's see if they throw any other teams out there. The Jets, Rams, Niners, which I don't know why the Niners would be there, but
are they they came out and said they're not trading Mac Jones, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Not that means anything right now. We are in a
lot. And obviously, that would probably be the other guy I would go with is Mac Jones, who's another young quarterback that's trying to find his identity. Okay.
Price tag on Mac, especially with them coming out and saying that they're not going to trade him. That's to drive the value up, right? Like that is just that to me, that's business. That's not them saying we're not trading him. That's like, you better be bringing a high second round and maybe 2 picks, right? I don't know if it's garner a first rounder, but you better be coming.
So his cap hit would be 3 million, just a little bit north of 3 million, with an extra 400,000 incentive during, so yeah, it would be a little bit bigger price tag than just Addison and some picks to get him. So
yeah, maybe you are able to swing something with the Niners with Addison in there. I hate to see him get fleeced for a couple of draft picks.
Yeah, but again, you got $3 million sitting on the bench or 1.4 million sitting on the bench. So I mean that's the whole thing is, where do you want the money, on the field or on the bench?
Yeah. It's not like they're out.
That's the same thing, and that's the same thing I said a few years ago when we had Case Keenum. It's just like, let's draft a quarterback. Let's, let Case, Teddy, and, let's just say Lamar Jackson, because he was picked 2 picks behind him. Let them battle it out. We say it's Case's job to lose, and let him battle it out through training camp and see who's ready for week 1. I mean, I think that's the same approach we have to go into this year, is let's bring in another young quarterback with some veteran experience and just let them two just hash it out.
Perfect world. Question for both of you. Perfect world. Who's the Vikings starting QB next year?
Joe Burrow.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah. If you say I could trade anybody, I think it would be Burrow. But again, what's my line looking like is what I want to say. But out of the guys that we are talking about, I think JJ is still going to be the starter.
You think if it comes down to Richardson and McCarthy that JJ can beat him out?
I think it would drive him. I think the moments I saw, in the Bears game and that one, I forgot what game it was, towards the end of the year, where he got up and just bull rushed the guy, and we were talking about it, that he got up and kind of pointed at him. I think that drives him, and I think that would beat him out. I think that would beat Richardson out. I think it'd be a close battle, but yeah, I think that's what McCarthy needs, is just be tested,
For sure. I couldn't agree with that more. Anything else on the quarterback position before we move on, fellas?
Not that I could see anything.
Good.
All right, moving on. I think the next topic, definitely just kind of recapping the combine. Top notes, I guess, from your end on the combine, Vikings related or otherwise.
Nothing out of the ordinary. I'll let you guys know right now. I'm not a big fan of the combine because all it is a practice. You're timing people without the pads and stuff like that. So I'm not a big fan of it. The one note I brought up in our chat, and I got to find the kid's name, from Minnesota. Let's get into the best available because he's up there. Running back out of Nebraska, Emmett Johnson, said that he had a very good workout, very good talks with KOC and all the interview process, and he would be very honored. Of course, everybody's going to say that, to come home and play in the purple and gold. So he's 4th overall.
Put in the group chat, right?
Yeah, 5'11", 200, out of Nebraska, 4th ranked running back, 95th overall. He had 1,451 yards, 4th in the nation, 12 touchdowns. So it wouldn't be, a bad pick there.
Crazy to me that the 4th ranked running back is the 95th overall player.
Yeah.
Well,
that seems wild.
I mean, running backs usually don't go first round.
Yep.
So then, but yeah, that's crazy. You said he was overall 97?
95th.
95th?
Yeah. And to compare it to what Love, who was at Notre Dame, Love had 1372 yards and then 18 touchdowns. So 100-yard difference, about 6 touchdowns difference, and they're that far apart.
That's crazy.
So.
Yeah, I mean, a steal, a guy like that in the 4th round.
Yeah. 4th round.
Honestly, I think I would probably try to get him third, because I think if you wait till the 4th round, he's going to be gone way early. So I would probably reach in the 3rd round if he's still sitting there.
Well, I think we have a late 3rd rounder. I think our second 3rd rounder is pretty late in there. So, yeah, it's definitely someone, if he's still on the board when you're coming in there, that you're definitely shining it up. What's happening?
What's up?
Man.
Appreciate you, Barber. Thanks for tuning in.
Like that logo there, Barber.
I don't know if he's still hanging with us, but I think he's going to be a guest appearing on the show next week. So make sure you're tuning back in with our guys and Rap, the vocal Vike. We'll be back here. Appreciate it.
And who knows, next week we might have a whole salary cap to talk about, I mean.
Yeah,
Monday's the 9th, so that would be the start of the financial year. So come Tuesday, we might have a whole list of free agents to talk about and where they might go.
I got a couple players from the cavalry that'll hop on as well.
Yeah.
Nice. Bring them all in. Steve, what's happening? Steve doesn't
What's going on, Steve?
I'm starting to think Steve's a classic Viking fan because he keeps talking about who the Vikings should draft and all this, but he never talks about what the Packers. Never talks about who the Packers should
try
draft.
and steal Coach Cody. The
picks that he's throwing out, that's sabotage.
Yeah.
All love, Steve.
Honestly, yeah. I'm worried that the Vikings are going to sabotage themselves by whoever they pick.
And that's the thing we talked about the last 2 weeks is they got to hit this draft. They got to hit home runs, or deep triples, I guess. So, but it's got
to hit the wall. It's got to hit the wall, man.
Big B, what draft was it when we got Kevin Williams and we forfeited like 2 picks because we couldn't get our pick? If we do that, I'm done. I'm done.
That's gonna be
2010, 12, 2008, maybe.
Will rue the day you said this, Steve. Mark it down.
8:55, March 3rd.
At 8:55, yeah.
Yep, March 3rd.
52 minutes into our podcast.
So
Packers do not want Cody.
During the show, the AI will pick that up and will automatically make that one of the clips after the show. It automatically do it. So just so you know, moving forward. Steve, thanks for tuning in, man. Good to see you, brother. Talking a little.
Cody, did the Vikings do that twice in recent years where they went to they
did it twice in the same draft?
Okay, maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah,
didn't get the pick
same pick
enough and forfeited the pick.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Like it might have even been 3 times, but I'm pretty sure we went from like the 7th to the 9th.
Let's see here. Last team. We'll find out because they talk about it every year. Even the movie Draft Day talked about how the Vikings, missed their pick and then had to pick. So those cards have to be ready. So
man, you better have it narrowed down, and that's why when we went through our, just kind of profiling the top positions that we identify as needs and going through those top 3-4 players, because you need to be prepared. You need to have position A, position B, players 1 through 3 on both of those, so that walking up, you've already kind of played through the scenarios. And if you don't have a front office that is running those kind of I essentially war games, right? Not to lighten the mood anywhere around the world with what's going on, but you're playing through every single scenario as it goes and going, if they do this, we do this. And the same reason why we're, what does it take to get up into the top 10 to possibly draft a tight end or a safety, right? That you're eyeballing up there. What would it take? Because you have to play through the scenarios. You can't assume anything in that moment, especially when it can be, the difference between, I honestly, a win or two in this league is the difference between making the playoffs and missing it. No different than last year. We kind of beat a dead horse at the end of the season going, what ifs we win that one extra game, but what if, and you're in the playoffs and now, you never know what's going to happen. You never know who's going to get injured on the other teams and to give you an open door to walk into a Super Bowl. And it's football, man. Anything can happen.
So here's the scenario that Cody's talking about. 2003, the Vikings had the 7th overall pick. They were trying to trade with the Ravens that never confirmed with the league before the 15-minute time clock expired. The Jacksonville Jaguars then took Brian Leftwich, and the Panthers took Jordan Gross. Then the Vikings took Kevin Williams.
Yeah, so they not only once but twice couldn't get the fit straight. Like that's ridiculous.
But that's again too. I think the regime was that triangle, authority where it was Dennis Green, the owner, and the GM were all trying to get in. But yeah.
Well, and that's why I have a little bit more confidence in what we have going on this year. Yeah. I feel like you're getting that triangle of that trifecta going on this year, but it is, KOC, Brian Flores, and Brzezinski. And I think these guys are a little bit more in lockstep, and we'll see, what it plays out as. None of them have ever been in this position as being the general manager, although I think any misstep in the draft this year doesn't fall on any one of their heads. Everything's kind of being done by committee.
Yeah, I mean, you're right there. And it doesn't help, again, that you're 40+ million over the cap. JJ getting traded to the Jags on draft day. Watch. Okay, let's mark that. Which JJ is he talking about? And yeah, let's clip that.
Yeah, Dre, which JJ, McCarthy or Jefferson?
I mean, it would make sense. Well, no, Harbaugh's not there anymore. So he must be talking about McCarthy, but I would say you could be onto something because Harbaugh was the coach of Michigan, was over in the Chargers, but he's still sitting there. He's still sitting there. All right, so we'll watch that, and
McCarthy for Herbert.
That was the talk the night that the Vikings were going to draft, and they're saying that if McCarthy's there, watch the Vikings move on Herbert, which wouldn't have been a bad move. I mean, and a lot of people are saying a lot of things to Harbaugh for throwing the smoke signals out there. So I mean, draft night is probably one night you don't want to trust too many people because you're going to get burned on what they're thinking. So, who'd you hear that from?
Nah, Dre ain't got sources, man. He's just throwing it out there. McCarthy for Trey Lance. His sources are worse than Steve's. No, Steve's got the worst sources.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind Trey Lance. I mean, he hasn't got his. And
where is he now?
He was in Dallas, but I think I want to say he's with the Chargers.
Yeah, his brother's in the draft this year, isn't he?
I believe so. Yeah. So Trey Lance, quarterback for the Chargers. So North Dakota State kid.
Dre, so are you saying there? He's saying he's saying trade JJ McCarthy for Trey Lance is what Steve was trying to say. That's funny. That's funny. Get out of here. Get out of here.
What did Trey Lance's brother?
I love this time of year, man. Everybody's out of their mind.
Yeah. Let's see here. Let's see if I can find.
Yeah, no doubt they're exercising all options, Dre. I don't know that they're actively like JJ McCarthy is for sale like a used car, but
again, I mean,
for sure, man, you got to know. And honestly, with the play they got out of that room as a total, as a whole, it's due diligence, right? No, you're out there, man. You're out there every day. I have a life besides this show. This is a very small part of
I'm on my social media pages too quite a bit, and and the thing, I mean, right now, as us three Viking fans sit here in the Viking world, there's only one person you're not trading for, or you're not going to let go in a trade, and that's Jefferson. Everybody else, they're going to listen to offers. And if that means McCarthy, you'll be a fool not to listen to offers. So, I mean, unless you get a Herschel Walker type deal for Jefferson, he's not going anywhere. So,
I don't know. We don't claim that Steve is sane, Orisa. So there's that. But
this time of year, everybody talks. Everybody's got people that know people that are in every organization. We all watch our media pages, social media pages, and so it's one of those things where
it wouldn't surprise me. I just think that there's value to JJ McCarthy than just kind of throwing him away.
Yep.
100%.
Dre, I hope your boss ain't watching. Still, you're on the complete failure with KOC. I don't think he's a complete failure by any means. Has he won a playoff game? No. Has he proven it? Is he the best coach in the world? No, I don't believe so. I think the coach of the year tag last year hurt him because of his ego that he already had. I think he was feeling himself a little bit too much coming into the season. I think he had it in his head that
probably one time I wish he would not have won the coach of the year.
I just wonder if it would have been a different, if he would have had a different approach to last season had he not won that, right? If he hadn't come in with the inflated ego of having the, postseason, the acknowledgement, recognition as the coach of the year. If it would have changed who he was coming in and felt like he had a little bit more to prove, which when things were falling apart and they did fall apart, he changed, right? But how much is that, like that ego part of it, because you got that thing on your mantle that says you're the coach of the year, that I just need to stick to what I'm doing, how much that affected him.
Well, but again, too, you went two weeks, 3 weeks. You went 2 weeks to 3 weeks in the preseason before you even had a backup quarterback in mind. And then we went outside Wentz and gave him 6 days to learn the playbook before week 1. I mean,
right.
So it's one of those things where
organization,
it's like the light bulb went on too late. Be like, oh my God, we don't have a backup quarterback. Everybody's gone. What are we going to do? I mean, call Cody. He's got 15 quarterbacks in his back pocket. Let's see if we get one of them. I mean,
and Dre, to this point, I don't have to prove anything to you about KOC. And I don't know that even if he wins a playoff game, if it proves anything to you because of the attitude you have told him. Every coach you had has won a playoff game. Okay. But no Super Bowl. So they were all successful as well and Denny Green should still be here coaching football because he won a playoff game. Come on, there's more to it than that. Does KOC have to get over a hump? Does he have to prove himself? Yeah. And that's, I think, why we're having the conversation about the trophy that he won. That doesn't mean anything being named coach of the year. I think it was a detriment to him. I think if he doesn't win it, maybe he goes out and feels like he has a little bit more to prove. and treats the entire season, and especially the beginning of the season, differently than he did last year. And if they win one more game, they're in the playoffs, right? So it just changes. And then maybe they win a game, and then maybe Dre's not on his ass. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Bring Denny back. We're going to start a petition today.
Wow.
Denny Green probably should be on a beach somewhere, hopefully.
You want to tell him?
What's that?
Denny Green?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it'd be hard to bring him back. He passed away a few years ago. So.
Well, there's that.
Yeah, there's that.
So, but the thing is, okay, Zimmer, 2-3 in the playoffs. Brad Childress 1-2. Mike Tice 1-1. Dennis Green was 4-8. Jerry Burns 3-3. Bud Grant, of course, the longest tenure at 10-12. Leslie Frazier was 0-1. So I mean,
Bill Belichick, 5 Super Bowls, can't get in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
So,
that was the wildest thing to me about Super Bowl week was like, how does that even happen? That's crazy.
Right, but they'll put in Sean Payton. Like they're gonna put him in. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean,
takes, man. You got some
Mike
takes.
Tice was not better than KLC.
Got some takes. But he won a playoff game, B. He won a playoff game.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah.
Tice's biggest thing, and I think this really hurt his coaching career, is when he came off and said we got the Randy ratio, and it said how many times they're going to throw the Randy Moss every game. So talk about a guy with an ego. There's your ego right there.
That's what killed him. It wasn't the boat scandal. That's what killed him.
Well, it could have been the boat scandal too, but I'm just saying, if I know that they're going to pass the Randy Moss X amount of times a game, I know how many times I have to really cover them and watch them. So
yeah, but you don't know which time it's going to be.
Oh yeah,
because every play, Randy's taking 5 steps and throwing that hand up. Hey,
if there was ever a man that deserved to do it, he
yeah.
was one.
So Mike Tyson's coaching career, I hope he's listening, was 32-33. KLC 43-25. So who has a better record?
But he won a playoff game, B. That's what
that win percentage.
But you got to get to the playoffs to win a game.
Yep.
Yeah, no, Dre, and I'm not fighting you on the KOC. I think.
We talked about that.
I don't think he's a terrible coach as you do, and that he's the worst ever. And I just don't play this kind of superlatives game. But I think that he's got more to prove than anyone in this organization this year, especially with Kwesi getting fired and him pretty much getting the reins handed to him this year. We all know Brzezinski isn't really the one that's getting into the football side. He is a career cap guy, right? He is a numbers, contracts, aficionado. So it is not on him to draft these players this year. And I don't know how much of it is between KOC and B-Flow. I hope B-Flow is in that conversation. I feel like he's earned that respect. He definitely earned that contract. What up, Dark Northfield? Good to see you, brother.
Let's go, man. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah.
And okay. I mean, he had Randy Moss. I think that's pretty big talent. I mean, Moss, JJ, samesies, or I mean, Jefferson's probably better. I think that seems kind of tough to say. Maybe. I guess Randy lived, so we can put a little bit of shade on his name. But I mean, in the worst season of his career, Justin Jefferson still at 1,000+ yards, right? Still got over 1,000 yards with no one at quarterback.
Sweating 1,000 yards though.
Yep.
Yeah, with an extra game, right? With an extra game on the schedule too. So thank goodness we had it. I'm not going back and looking at all the rosters that Tice coached. I just don't care enough to be.
And the thing is, from the time Tice coached to now, the game has changed. I mean,
he had a co-MVP quarterback in Culpepper, so you can get out of here with that.
Yeah, he probably had the best quarterback that the Vikings have seen in years at Culpepper. I mean,
Get your roll on. Say,
And I mean, he's won a lot of games, so I don't know what you're talking. Like, he'll never win a playoff game if he continues to call plays. I fought for this a lot last year, where I would like to see KOC just be the guy that orchestrates everything and to just be a head coach. And I just don't know that he can let the ego go. I don't know if he's ever, has somebody else that he trusts enough to give those reins to, right? That understands the game in the same way that he does. That he just, like you said, he's got to be the smartest guy in the room. And so that may be what sinks him. Honestly, that may be the thorn in the side of his career. And
well, and it's not a bad thing to give up some of the power, to delegate more of the tasks.
You need your own podcast, man. You got to do this. I want Drake.
Why does 41 Doon come up every time? We talk about Culpepper while he was trash in one game. You're right. He was. I mean, so was the whole team. He can't do it himself.
He should have been.
I mean, yeah. But I mean, so
you know what it was? KOC was calling the plays in that game.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
So KOC took over in 2022 after Zim went 8-10. They went 13-4. Then of course 7-10, 14-3. 9-8 with the total win percentage of 632, which is the highest for a Minnesota quarterback, or a coach. So.
Yeah, he's got a ton to prove this year, though.
Well, he does. He does. Like, I'm not making any excuses.
He's especially after Quasi, that he's starting with the water on simmer this year.
Yeah,
because
he's going in with KLC is going into the season as the first coach that's going to be on the hot seat right away.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that saved him is he ended the year with a winning record. Literally, that's the only thing that saved him. And the fact that
I think they like him. I don't think even if they finished 8-9 that they're cutting bait with him. I think Quasi was pretty well doomed. Yes, Norspius, I know you're just getting in here, but this is exactly what I've been kind of alluding to, is that his ego. And I think it's going to be his ego that gets it. But can he learn from it? And what we saw in the season, I thought was leaning that way. But now everything that we've heard from him in the postseason is just kind of not giving me a lot of confidence, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, I'm fixed on, he's going to go into the season on the hot seat. We start off 0-3, 0-4. That is going to be pretty.
I think the noise is going to be so incredibly deafening. At that point, the problem is you don't have anyone that's like a young offensive mind that's in the organization that you're like plugging this dude in, right? Like if you start 0-4 and you make a head coaching change and you do give the reins to B-Flow, what the fuck are you going to do with this offense then? Like, who are you? What option is there? You know what I mean? Who do you have in the organization that you can even move into that? I know we got a new what do they call it? The assistant head coach.
I think so.
Yes, assistant head coach. We got a new offensive line coach. By week 6, nah, it's going to happen sooner than that, if it will.
No, and Norspius, kind of to your point, I feel like he's trying to live up to that. And for me, I'm not hiring a head coach. The head coach is the CEO of the entire team. That he is the emotional leader. He is the guy that makes sure that everyone else is doing their job. I'm not necessarily of the mind that he should be doing the job of that. That is why you have coordinators, right? You have coordinators that they can focus on that one thing. And it's
And that's what I'm going to get at is that's one thing with when the team wins is that their OCs and defensive coordinators are always a hot commodity. What did KLC do? If he just called the plays, then Vikings effed up and shouldn't have hired him because we don't know what this guy's coaching style is like. So
right. Well, and speak to this, because last year being GM and head coach of the St. Paul Bears, I delegated and I had my coordinators do their job. I trusted them enough for them to do their job, and then I had fools coming at me like, well, I mean, let's have you call the plays. Let's have you out there. Let's see how you do it. And well, now I'm defensive coordinator and our first game, 56-0.
Going pretty well.
Pitch the show. I never did that.
We're not hearing everyone else in the league.
We're not denying that he's not calling right plays and stuff. I mean, he does need to rely on his offensive coordinator. So going into this season, we hired Kyle Kasky, offensive quality control. Former MLB player, no, I'm just kidding. Chili Davis as the assistant special teams coach. Will Johnson as defensive assistant. We promoted Chezo to assistant defensive back coach. Gibson to assistant linebacker coach. Josh McCown to offensive passing game coordinator / quarterback coach. So that's everybody that we there's a whole bunch of coaches on here, but
what happened to Cardell?
So are you, if you fire KOC, B-Flow slides the head coach, which we think is the move, is Josh McCown now taking over the offense and becoming your offensive coordinator and calling the plays? Chili Davis, Twins world champ.
Yeah. Just a little for what?
Yeah, it could be worse. Honestly, Steve, by week 6, it could be worse than it is now. I mean, we're projecting a lot right now. We got, a lot of time between now and then for things to go worse, hopefully a lot better, but a lot of stuff in there. No doubt. I mean, the Wilfs obviously like the guy, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what their bias is towards him, but I don't think that he's immune. And I think that the fact that they went out and let Kwesi go, because I'm sure they liked Kwesi to some degree too, right? But at the end of the day, it's production. And now they've proven that they're not scared to fire people and to let them go. I do think that maybe I don't see the benefit maybe of letting your GM go mid-season, except that you are prepared to then hire one when it starts, right? Like when the league year ends or when the playoffs start, you could be already doing something there, which I think was maybe a little bit of a failure this year. We're gonna live to see that one out. I think that you could have had one, but yeah, maybe a little slow to pull the trigger on a firing, which worries you about the KOC situation next year. Do they just ride it out all year long?
Well, I'd like to know who made the call to hire Kwesi in the first place, because he had no football background. He was just a numbers guy. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, trying to be the smartest people in the room, right? And take a chance and to money ball this thing. And
that's what it was. It was a money ball type move. I mean,
right.
That was a dumb move.
Yeah.
Sure. You're not in a position this draft to get any good players at those. But sure, draft O lineman and D lineman with your middle round picks and get no value out of it. And sure. I mean,
But that's one thing with the combine is that everybody's going to start fluctuating on the draft boards now because they had good interview process, they had good times, they had good hands, or they got a good shaped bubble as what's his face from ESPN likes to call everybody's butts now, is how big their bubble is, and So, but Mel Kiper, that's where he's come up with that. So
that's why I'm trying to get to the combine next year.
Yeah.
I'm taking you with me.
yeah,
We'll show him some bubble.
yeah,
Well,
exactly.
all the positive stuff, but also all the negative stuff. Like, this is the time where any player that's going to be in the draft attending the combine, I just deactivate my phone for that whole time. Stay off social media, just stay in, go on a 90-day run, and just cut yourself off from the world. Just put yourself into a position. Don't do anything stupid.
Nope. That and honestly,
Not my job, Dre. Not my job. I'm looking at this team where they're drafting at and understanding how the draft works and value in your picks. Just going out and saying we're going to draft all O linemen and D linemen regardless of where they fall on the big board, I think is just it's asinine. It doesn't make any sense. But that's fine. And I understand that. To kind of reiterate to this, I understand how the game is won as well, right? But you need good players, and this team has a lot of holes. No, and the problem with the combine is that you have guys like Jordan Addison that are living off that 40 time at the combine and can't catch a fucking ball in 2025, 26, right? So
that's why I don't like the combine. I mean, if I'm a sure first round pick, I just go do my interviews, and do my personal workouts later on. Now, if I'm a bubble guy, where could I benefit from going to the combine and maybe getting up in the first round or early second, I would go, but if I'm like Mendoza, I wouldn't even step foot on the combine unless I'm doing interviews. So
yeah, because you don't want to do anything to hurt your draft stock.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You have nothing.
And like Cody said, I'm turning off social media and all that because I don't want no distractions. I'm going from the combine to the hotel room to the plane back to home to my workouts back home. I'm not. So.
No, and the top 5 picks are probably pretty well set. Every year, there's very few surprises in those. Some years, I think, are more than others that, are pretty well set. This year seems a little bit more, in flux. And,
I just like the fact that people, everybody's got their opinion. I'll respect everybody's opinion. But they keep telling us that we don't know how to build a team and, we're throwing out ideas, but nobody else is throwing out any ideas to counteract our.
Well, and the philosophy that he has is right, but who are the O linemen and the D linemen that you're drafting? To just say you're drafting all O line and D line, to me, is just, it doesn't make any sense, right? There's more than one way to build a team as well, Dre, and I guess that's where I'm coming from. I have stated that I think they need to fix their offensive line. They need some help on the defensive line, but you have no money, right? You have players that underperformed last year. I think the offensive line, just getting Darisaw back to that top flight caliber, is going to be better next year. To just go out and we're like, oh, well, we got to draft, 3 offensive linemen in the first 3 rounds. It just doesn't make any sense. That's all I'm saying. I think this team, where their value is falling, where they're picking in the draft, it's probably going to be safety or cornerback in the first round. It's probably going to be safety, cornerback, or possibly, a tight end or somewhere. I think that's what you're getting. And that's why we profiled the players that we did in those first rounds. I don't know if there's an offensive lineman that's in the top 45 picks that's going to fall in that range, because that's what you're kind of working on, is ranges when it comes to the draft, that you're like, this guy is a day one starter. Because typically guys that you're drafting in the second round on the offensive line are not day one starters. You need help right now.
So right now, looking at the current ESPN board, at Vikings are, of course, 18. 16th, they got Utah offensive tackle Caleb Lemieux, who's at 16. So, yes, possibly he could drop. But before that, I mean, they're projected at number 8, the Miami offensive tackle, to go. He's not going to drop that far. So is there a possibility? Yeah, but, one thing is we got to share up some salary cap here before the draft and stuff like that.
And to hit on you, Dre, for the KOC is the worst coach either. KOC don't want to run the ball, so it's already not happening. It's a moot point.
Well, but and I was going to ask you about that. Now, does KOC not want to run the ball because we don't have an offensive line that can open up holes, or does he not want to run the ball because of his ego being a quarterback, wanting to get the quarterback some numbers? I mean, that's the whole thing.
Probably both.
These players and play the rookie.
Some of the DBs, I think we got a lot of players that we'd be pretty happy with, from the safeties and cornerbacks that we profiled last week. You got to get guys that can start in those positions. You got to have them. I think there's only one position I would say along the offensive line that is who's Proctor from Alabama, B, just so you can look that up, a player.
I'm guessing offensive lineman here.
Write a book, Steve. Yep. We'll all read it.
Caden Proctor. He is the 6th ranked offensive tackle, 31st overall, 6'7", 366. I mean, I definitely don't hate the Alabama linebacker or linemen on both sides of the ball because they are, as Cody likes to say, they're hungry. Tackle? What's that?
Just say tackle, right tackle or left tackle?
It just says offensive tackle. So
yeah, man, you put him at right tackle opposite of Darisaw, you're talking about some damage there. But also range. It's a reach to draft him at 18, right? Yep. And you're not high enough in the second round to be able to snag somebody like that. Is that someone that they possibly are able to trade back, get an extra second round pick, draft somebody else, and then possibly pick this guy up, whether it's in the first or the second round? Possibly.
Well, and that could be something too, that he's at 31. So could we, package our second, third, and maybe a future second, third to move up in that first round, late 20s, to get him, and we walk away with two solid first round draft picks.
Right.
Possibly.
I think that's tough for this team to pull
out. It is tough. I mean,
no doubt, Dre. Hey, Dre, where did Proctor play? Did he play left tackle at Alabama then? Since we got you and you're a big fan. Oh, we like it. I like the size. I like that.
I love the size.
It comes down to ranges.
Right. It's range. All about the range.
Trade up to get a dude. I don't believe in that. Like leaving good players on the table.
No, hold on. Is he talking to trade up in the second round to get into the first round? Or is he talking about trading like at 18 to move up to reach on him? I mean, I guess we need to find out where he's talking about.
Yeah.
Because I'm not trading 18 to move up to get another offensive lineman. If it's not one of the top couple, No.
I don't see offensive line as the biggest need on this team. Your defensive secondary needs help. I think you need to reward B-Flow, not only with the contract, but with some really good young talent. And maybe see what you're going to have to find some scrap heap guys to work with and hope that your new offensive line coach can maybe change some things along there. And you got to have the you have to have the capital, right? Like you have to have the capital to move around. He's athletic too. Trade up in the first. They have him projected at 31.
He's projected at 31. Why would we? I don't get the reason to move up.
I think
because he's going to be there. He's going to be there at 18. I mean,
right. And to me, that feels like a reach, right?
Yeah.
If the guy's drafted 31 and he's like the 6th ranked offensive lineman, that seems like a bit of a reach.
So I mean, if he's on the board, then that's where you trade back a little bit. I would take him in the mid 20s.
Right.
I would take him at 18.
Pick up a couple more seconds or thirds, possibly. Those deals got to come on the table, and that stuff's not happening until draft day.
Yeah. So I definitely would look at him and if he's there at 18, maybe we can move back and grab him. I'm not grabbing him at 18, but
If we could move that or pick them up early in the second. But
what D lineman you got then, Dre? Since you're all over the D line, O line draft, we'd love to hear some. We didn't chronicle much of the D line class yet. Kind of avoided it a little bit with the everything coming out here. Now I think they got some, they got some good young talent along that defensive front. Now I hope you see a better year out of Jonathan Allen. Obviously, Devon Hargraves is going to be out the door. But you have the kid that we really liked that stepped up, former, was it XFL that he was playing? His name's evading me right now. Who was the Redmond, right. Liked what we saw out of Redmond. Hopefully you see some more improvement in that area.
So just looking here, because I know we have a chronicle. I mean, there's going to be in where the Vikings are at. There's going to be 3 studs that you're looking at there. Peter Woods for Clemson. He's the first overall, 20th overall on the board, 6'3", 315. Then you got Lee Henderson or Hunter, 6'4", 325 at second ranked defensive lineman, 21st overall, and then Kenny McDonald, third overall, 24th ranked. So there is some potential to get better there, but
we'll have to do some deep dive on that, Coach. Do some defensive tackle tape on those guys, especially because they're right in that range. Would love to know what you think about them. If they're game wreckers, I'm all about.
But again, we got to remember too
the values there.
We got to remember too. None of these players are guaranteed to be starters and Hall of Fame guys. Coming into the draft. That's one thing. Everybody thinks that their first round pick, they're going to be this, they're going to be that, and how many first round picks have faded out and stuff like that. So.
Well, just like what'd you say? The guy from Clemson. I would love me some SEC defensive tackles in there, guys. But they gotta be able to wreck a game in college, right? Yeah. To be serviceable, because you're not playing college talent when you get to the NFL. You're playing the best in the world. So
it's all a gamble. I mean, it is all a gamble. And Coach Cody, you could, somebody may look good in the combine or on the film that you see, and you breed them in. And he doesn't fit your system, or it's a Kajana Carter for the Bengals, who, was the number 1 overall pick, goes out and ruptures his legs and stuff and can't play. So, it's all a hit or miss. Who's that?
Or you got a Jamarcus Russell.
Yeah. So just because these guys are good, and like I said, I'll value everybody's opinion, respect it, but it's just. Coach,
that would be nice if they had depth at the defensive tackle position, and it would be awesome.
But again, too, these are pro athletes. How much coaching up can you do? I mean, you can give them a hurrah speech and get them fired up, but they got to the pros because they know their position, and so how much more coaching up can these guys get?
Yeah, no, I think I kind of agreeing with Dre too, is you just need some dogs, man. You need some dogs on that defense, because I feel like B-Flow can find what you do best and put you in that position to do. Awesome. Yeah, and I think Tiananmen, he was one of the DBs that we were talking about, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, Delane, he's supposed to be right there at the Vikings pick. I mean, he's slated for 18 right now. And then Tillman, was he a safety? The safety from Oregon. Yeah, Dylan Tillman, yeah. So both of them could be there. So I think that's where we got to go. I think we got to go defensive backs right away.
Well, and I think that you can find some dogs, some guys with traits at that defensive line position, especially at the tackle positions, because you feel like you have your edge pretty well set with that hybrid D that you're going to play anyway. If you do keep Grenard and you have, an emerging talent in Dallas Turner, that I think you feel okay. You're probably better than okay. You feel pretty good about your outside rushing. It's coming back inside that you really want them stacked up. And alluding to what Dre said, we need some depth at that. You know, you got to have people that can do there. So.
Yeah, definitely depth is a sure thing. Gotta have dogs. I mean,
gotta have dogs.
All right. Well, for Dre, coming up, I don't know if we'll wait until I get back in a few weeks or what we'll do, but we're gonna deep dive the defensive tackles. We're gonna make sure that we get some dogs. We're gonna put Cody on it, have him sniff them out. And in the deep rounds, right? I mean, we got several picks, right? We got some juice to do here, and I don't think that there's, what we need to do. I think is pick two safeties, pick two cornerbacks, pick two defensive tackles, right? And not just picking all over the place. And get some talent on here. And knowing that, a couple of top flight players, a couple of starters in those early rounds, but then letting things just kind of fall where they're going to. And I think stacking up a few more picks and players, because you have to get younger anyway, I think is important right now as well.
Well, and just because we have so many picks, I haven't done too much research into next year's draft, but I mean, especially with them later ones, if you can package fifth and a sixth to move up to next year's fourth or something like that. Like, I've always been a fan of that too. So we'll definitely have to see how the board rolls out, the names coming up, the shockers, the trades, and just see where we land. But
everybody's boards just got shifted around after the combine. Things kind of shift a little bit in here after the start of the new league year, which you guys are going to be talking about a lot of cuts and everything happening next week. So we'll probably start to deep dive player positions and getting more into it. Probably do our first mock draft towards the end of March. I would say we can do a mock draft show and really start to lay that out from that point. I mean, we're moving in. It'll be freaking April before we know it.
Well, and that's the thing too. Like you said there, Bubba. Boards are changing. Once that league year starts, people are going to get cut. The boards are going to change again,
right? Yeah.
People are going to start signing and be like, "Oh, this guy got cut here, so now we're going to be here. So now do we have to draft that spot? Okay, so now we're going to look at a different position." So, a lot of things are going to be change between now and tomorrow and next week. The draft is the end of April. We're going to see a lot of changes. I mean, heck, who knows? Maybe Mariota drops from the first overall pick to the 10th overall pick. So,
yeah, what Northfield said, Steve. always Dre, always Georgia's got them D linemen and linebackers.
Georgia, Bama, I mean, Philadelphia always is key for drafting Bama defensive players, and they turn out to be pretty dang sweet. So
yeah. Well, fellas, I know Coach has probably got meetings that he's putting off right now and doing a lot. I wouldn't mind getting some sleep. It's been super stressful here. So I had a lot of things up in the air until today. And I feel like all of my tour plans just like solidified like concrete in a single 24-hour period. When
do you start that tour?
I leave on Thursday, so I think I got a couple of interviews that I need to do in the morning yet. I didn't want to
through Minnesota at all, or you guys going straight south?
So I'll head pretty much east, go south to like Sioux City, and then I go straight east, and then cut down through like Waterloo to catch I-80, and then go 80 pretty much all the way over until you go north into Detroit. So looking probably break the trip up into a couple of days. I got some family in Illinois, hoping to stop and just crash a couch for the night. And I appreciate you, Northfield. Thank you, man. And a big shout out to all your brothers and sisters in arms, obviously out there right now. Our thoughts are always with our active duty and our veteran communities. And Northfield, you're more than welcome to come on with the boys next couple of weeks too. I'll have Cody or B maybe drop you a line and shoot you the link out. my super producer and a great friend of mine that's been, helping me with the scene projects. Wild Willie will be producing. Willie Thornton, who might be coming off a win at the Midwest Talents Awards, man. So we're appreciative of y'all hanging out. A little bit shorter episode tonight, but Cody's been on the phone half the episode trying to sign new offensive linemen and trying to coach or trying to get some of these other teams to come out. And yeah, man, I'm really looking forward to talking more DFA with you, Coach. I obviously will be on the group chat and we'll be in communication while I'm gone, but really just proud of you and everybody with the DFA, what y'all are building there, taking essentially one team that you had, a dominant superstar team, and now being able to add other talent to that and to create 4 teams now to develop and building a blueprint, I think, for the rest of the country, right? That all of these major markets, a place like Dallas, why don't they have something like this? Especially with as much football is being played in the state of Texas. So yeah, looking forward to spending a lot of time covering the Developmental Football Association, your team and Double A, and just, man, I'm really thrilled to be a part of this and how a few conversations turn into an entire network like it has now. It's been pretty amazing.
Yeah, I knew it from the start that we were going to build something special, and it's just built on from the Vikings pregame show to Vikings United. We got the golf and the baseball one coming up, so we're going to be having some fun this year.
I'm shooting a couple of golf episodes while I'm on tour as well. So look out for that, and happy to get out there. A lot more great things to come from all of us. Appreciate all your homework that you're doing during the week. It keeps me from having to do anything. So I appreciate it. I can just kind of show up and guide the conversation and keep the chat rolling and keep them engaged, right? So shout out to Bonnie Doon Winery and Vineyard for the new mascot. Behind me there, appreciative of them sending me a case of wine recently. I may be dipping into one of those bottles here soon. I don't know that I have anything to celebrate today, although we did have some pretty big wins. But yeah, appreciate everybody that's been investing in this.
Well, I think I need to send you my address so you can send some of that stuff this way.
There you go. Well, I'll be coming up there soon, man. I'll be up there, I think, beginning of May. I got some things that are calling me up to Minnesota. So we'll get a chance to all hang out and spend some time together. It'll be really nice to see both of you. Cody, I haven't seen since last March when we got together up at the casino there. What a wild time that was. And yeah, man, be looking forward to meeting you in person too. It's crazy how the internet works and you spend so much time with people and you get to know them so much. And you're like, I've never actually like shaken your hand before. And not that you're getting a handshake.
Well, we definitely got a good Mexican restaurant here.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, we'll do a show there.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to see if we can't shoot some content, maybe get our meal for free, boys. It worked at the Mexican restaurant in Sioux Falls. So
It'll work.
Yeah. Hey, Scene Projects Food Network coming soon. Don't you worry, boys. All right. Well, for Coach Cody and Big B, I am Bubba Startz. This has been Vikings United. Hey, the boys will see you back here next Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Central. Wild Willie will be doing here. We got Rap from the Vocal Vikes that he's going to drop in. So we're really appreciative of having other creators that can come and kind of fill in for me while I'm out on tour. Y'all, it's going to be a wild trip for me, man. I got 5,000 miles ahead of me in the next 14 days, but I am so appreciative to have this opportunity to go do this. I couldn't do it without some great sponsors. Shout out to Pure and Easy Tea. Operation Combating Veteran Suicide obviously means the world to me, and we absolutely love everyone who's made this possible. Shout out to Skunked Golf Company as well, coming in clutch with being the official clothing sponsor of SPSN golf content. So with all that said, we love you guys. Make sure you're tuning in next Tuesday again, and we will see you then. Peace. As we cheer on our Minnesota Vikings, let's also recognize true heroes. Pillars of Valor Coffee isn't just about exceptional taste. It's a veteran-owned company with a powerful mission. With every purchase, you're directly contributing to programs that empower and support veterans and first responders. Imagine starting your day with a rich, bold coffee that also fuels a vital cause. Pillars of Valor Coffee is dedicated to making a tangible impact, honoring those who've served our nation and communities. Join them in their mission. Visit pillarsofvalor.com to learn more and get your bag today. Pillars of Valor Coffee. Great coffee, greater purpose.